All right, guys, I wanted to do a quick video just talking about what I think is one of the most common problems in Jiu Jitsu, which is freezing while you roll. This is a big problem, especially early on in Jiu Jitsu when you're first learning. I think one of the main reasons this happens is that people, they're actually trying to do the right thing. They're trying to be very technical, so they're thinking about the technique they do, but they're thinking a lot while they're rolling. And the hard part with this is that for techniques to actually work, even if they're done correctly with all the perfect technique, they have to be done real time with full resistance, not hesitating, right? So that creates a difficulty because you don't know the techniques in the beginning. So when you're doing them, doing them correctly matters, right? So if you're doing it wrong, then it's not going to work. But also, if you're trying to do it right, but you're not going fast, it's also not going to work. So that creates a difficulty. So I always tell my students, or the people that I'm coaching, that it's more important to take action than make the correct action. Now, that doesn't mean that the correct action isn't important. It is very important. But the time for analyzing in jiu-jitsu is after the fact. So let's say if we were doing specific sparring, which is often a format of training I like to use to help people progress quicker. If I was having someone say specific spar from collar sleeve or a particular position, double sleeve, whatever, I would have the person start in the position and I would have them go, okay, you're on bottom, you're starting in collar sleeve, you're going to try to sweep or submit, the person on top's trying to pass. Then you're going to fight, and then you're going to try to sweep, and the guy's going to try to pass. I would urge during that time, just go as hard as you can. Don't even think so much about what you're doing. Just try to win that fight. Okay. Afterwards, he's either going to pass you or he's going to sweep or submit. Let's say that he passes. If he passes, then that's the time to go, okay, what did I do wrong? What could I have done different? Okay, I was holding the collar this way, but I know my coach told me I should have turned it this way or whatever. You do the analyzing after the fact. As you remind yourself after the fact, okay, this is what I was supposed to do, then the likelihood, the percentage chance that the next round that you do it, that when that same situation occurs, that you will make the correct choice will go up, right? And that allots for both problems, right? It allots for trying to do the correct movement, but it also allows for you to not hesitate. Because if you're in the match and every time you're rolling, you're thinking about like, oh, okay, where was I supposed to put that? Or I want to do it this way, I want to make sure it's perfect, then it's not going to work anyway, even if you are trying to do it correctly because you don't have time, right? I think that's a very good way to fix that. So focus more on taking action. Even if you don't know what you're doing, just make action, make action, make action. Afterwards, do a lot of analysis, think a lot about the problem. If you can film your rolls, that's even better. That's the mental part of training, the adaptive part, right? So you roll, you have to be present to the moment and act. Afterwards, you do the analyzation, critiquing, watching your own video, talking to other people, correct your thoughts, and the next time you roll, you'll be more likely to take action, right? But I think for a lot of people, they need to err on that side of taking action first rather than overthinking. However, there is some people that are on the opposite side of that, which is they're always taking action. They're just fight, 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 but they never actually think about it. I think this point also explains why sometimes what happens is someone is very technical. They do a lot of privates. They learn a lot of technique, and then they go with someone who's actually nowhere nearly as technical as them, but that guy ends up beating them. And I think often because people who are not trying to be technical, they end up being in this place where they're just acting. And because they're just acting, even if it's not always the perfect move, they get the first response. So they come out in a better situation, even though they're not being technical. So you want to try to find that bridge in between. I find a lot of like engineering, like math-minded type people who like to think a lot, they tend to struggle in jiu-jitsu, even though they're good at understanding technique, because they're not taking action. One more last point with this is another good way to fix this is if you have a partner that's really good, you can do slow tempo rolls. And when you do slow tempo rolls, it's basically like you're rolling, you resist and do everything realistic. Don't goof off and lay around like you let the guy pass. You really do it realistic, but you go really slow. And then I allow for my partner or myself when there's a position that I'm confused in or I don't know what to do, I go freeze. Okay, and then we discuss what's going on. I play with different movements and feel it out, and then we go, okay, go again, and then we continue. And that kind of slow tempo roll will also allow you to freeze at that exact moment that there's a problem, so your brain has time to recognize what's going on. I think both the slow tempo rolls and then critical analysis after rolling will help solve that problem. But again, the underlying problem is when you're really in a full match at full speed, you do not have time to think. So it's more important that you take action, whatever the best action that your brain can give you at that time is more important than you overthinking, right? Think after the round. Okay, guys, hope it helps a lot. Sorry for the video quality. I'll make another video like this soon. Thanks.